Hello, hello, everyone. This is Dr. B from Steps to the Future. I'm back. Took a little summer hiatus in order to just enjoy the summer and just to have some downtime. I'm always encouraging my students to, unplug. As you can see the sign back there, if you can see it on the wall. It's really good to unplug a little bit and to just do things differently and not fill your day with so much. So, one of the things I did by unplugging is I chose not to do a couple of the C3 with Dr. B, but I'm back. I've had an enjoyable time traveling with my adventure club, which is Life's a Trip, Faye and C, and just reading and just being and just not having to have a day full of activities. So I hope that you are joining us today. For those of you that are joining us, please make sure you share this with people so that they will come on and have a conversation with us. So, one of the things I wanted to do today, and we'll take maybe about 30 minutes or so to do this, is to have a conversation with some of you about what happens when you go on a college tour or you're on a college visit? What questions should you be asking? This is for, students who are rising seniors, but that doesn't mean you have to be a rising senior in order to do a college tour. You could be a rising junior. You could be even younger than that because you just want to get an idea of what it's like being on a college campus and figuring out what questions you need to ask because it can be overwhelming. I know as an independent educational counselor that I sometimes, when I'm doing multiple colleges in a short period of time, it can be overwhelming. So you have to already decide what questions you'd like to ask and also figure out how many colleges you want to visit in one day because you can burn yourself out on college visits. So, everyone, uh, sit back, relax, get your questions ready. I do want you to participate in the conversation, and we'll be back in about 10 seconds. Take care. Hey, and here we are back again. So, if you are joining us, please, please, please put your name in the comment section, where you're from. Do you have any questions about college visits? I want this to be a give and take. I don't want this to be a monologue where it's just me having a conversation with myself because I can do that on any day. So, today I just would love for you to join in. Again, share it out with people, let them know that we are live and to bring their questions. So, what questions should you ask when you go on a college tour? So, one of the first things, even before you start asking questions, that I strongly recommend is that you sign up for an official tour. That means you can go on the college's website, and under admissions, there will be a section about visits. Click on that section. Many of the colleges will have a calendar so you can see what dates and times are available. They will also give you some rules to follow as far as maybe how many people can be with you on the tour or where you need to park for the tour. But definitely sign up for the tour because you want the admissions folks to know that you took the time to come to their campus, and that's a record for them so that they know who came to visit them. So always sign up for a tour, even if you are going on a tour where it may not be official. There are times when we're driving somewhere and there's a college nearby, and we say, oh, let's pop in so we can see what the campus is like. I recently attended a conference in Chicago, the National Career Development Association conference. And when visiting a relative during some downtime, I had the opportunity to walk the campus of Loyola University Chicago because it was in her neighborhood. So again, got a chance to visit. Admissions wasn't open, so I couldn't go in there and say, hey guys, I'm here on your campus. But it was a really nice way to just get an idea of what the neighborhood was like. So let's get to our questions. So you're on the campus, you're on the tour, and one of the questions that you can ask the tour guide or you can ask during the actual admissions session is, How friendly and welcoming is this campus? Because you want to be able to go to a place where you feel comfortable. You don't want to be at in a campus environment or any environment where you don't feel like you fit because people aren't friendly. So, are people talking to one another as you're walking around the campus? Do they seem to be having conversations with each other? Or people holding doors for one another? So, really pay attention to what the vibe is of the students around you on the campus. Now, if you're going in the summer, that's one of the downfalls of summer visits. You don't get to see the campus at its full capacity. You may see some students on campus who are taking summer classes. You may also see students on campus who are there for summer programs that may not necessarily be run by the college itself. So, again, when it's possible, go when the college is in full session. But if not, go when it's convenient for you. Not everyone is fortunate enough or has the privilege to go and visit colleges, but if you can, make the best of it anytime that you go. So another question you want to ask: how easy is it to get around campus? This is really important because there's different terrain on different campuses. On one of the campuses that I visited within the last year was pretty hilly and had a lot of steps that you had to go up and down to get to different parts of the campus. So if you were in a hurry to get from one part of the campus or another, you better make sure that you had some physical stamina. Excuse me. Excuse me. Some physical stamina to go up and down those steps. Let me grab a quick drink here. Mm. Seems like when I'm sitting here talking, all of a sudden my throat gets really dry. So, again, ask how easy it is to get around the campus. So, another thing that you want to ask: so, how easy is it to get from the campus to the nearest town or city or the nearest airport? Um, that's information that sometimes you can find on the website, but you certainly want to ask those questions when you're on a tour. Um, you don't want to be stuck on campus. Many colleges have rules about whether or not first year students can bring cars onto campus. So that's something you want to know. Can a first year student have a car on campus? Or do they even need a car on campus? If they don't bring a car on campus, what kind of transportation is available to them? If they want to go to the local grocery store, the local Target, or if they want to go to the downtown area, is it easily accessible? And does the college provide transportation? Some colleges students will be able to get discounted bus passes or ride the public transit bus at no additional cost to the student. So ask those type of questions because you don't want to get on campus and then be stuck and you can't get, off campus if that's what you want to do. So again, another question to ask. And folks that are listening in, please chime in. Ask your questions. Let me know who's here, where you're watching from, and have you visited a college campus lately? And what did you think about it? So another question you might want to ask: what is the relationship between the college and the city or town that it's in? These are called town and gown relationships. So you want to make sure that, well, I shouldn't say you want to make sure because you really don't have a lot of control over that. But you do want to know what is the relationship between the city or town that the college is located in and the college. Like, do they have a friendly relationship? Are the people in the town supportive of the college? Or are they like, oh man, those college kids, they're just getting in our way and disrupting our lives and what have you? And somebody may say, well, why is that important? Well, if you're going to be spending 4 years at a particular college, living on campus or living in the community, you do want to know that there's a civil relationship between the city or town and that college. So that's a question that you can ask on your tour. Another question. So this is again, where do students do their shopping? Not only where do they do their shopping, but again, is there transportation there? But where do they go shopping? If students want to cook in their rooms, if that's available to them, or cook in the common area, it all depends on what your residence hall is set up like. whether or not you'll be able to have, cooking facilities or kitchen facilities. Is it easy to go to the local grocery store to do your shopping? What's the best grocery store to go to? Does the college have any kind of relationship with the grocery store where students may get a student discount? So those are those types of questions again that you might want to ask. Um, so one of the things that I think is really important to ask, and I don't know how many people ask this, is what is the crime rate on the college campus? So all colleges are required to have what they call a Clery report. That's CLERY, the Clery report, a Clery Act. It has to be on their website, and they're supposed to give statistics about the crime rate and the types of crimes that are may or may not be committed on their campus. So you could ask about that or even look at it before you go and then ask questions about it to clarify information that you read in that particular report. That should be on every college's website because it is required by law. So please ask that question. Um, in line with that, is there a late night shuttle? So, say you're at the library and the library is at the opposite end of the campus from your residence hall, or you're at the library and you want to go to one of the dining centers that's still open and it's late, it's dark, and you don't feel all that comfortable walking on campus unaccompanied. Is there a late night shuttle that you can call that will take you from one place to another? And if so, how often is it available? Um, does it come every 15 minutes? Does it come every 20 minutes? Is there a call box you have to go to? Most colleges now, what they will do, there's an app for that. So they will have an app that you can download onto your phone and be able to communicate with their late night shuttle if they have one. So again, that's another question that you want to ask because safety is of the utmost concern when you're on a college campus. So here's another question. So, talking about residence halls, this is so interesting because a lot of times um, many times when we go on college tours, sometimes the residence hall that you go into is the top of the line residence hall. So some residence halls on campuses may differ. There may be some where there are multiple tiers of price points. So that's the kind of question you want to ask. So if you're in a residence hall and it has all these amenities, ask the question, is this particular residence hall at the top of the price point? If not, what do the other residence halls look like and what do they have? What amenities are available in that particular residence hall? That's one of the costs that I can't say that you can completely control it, but you can definitely decide how much you want to pay. So that's a question to ask. Do the residence halls have tiered pricing? And if they have tiered pricing, find out what the difference is. And if you can't find it out while you're on the tour, you certainly can go on the website under student life and look up that information. It's there for you. So, take some time to do that. Take some time to do that. There are times when you're on a college visit where you may not be able to go into a residence hall for a variety of reasons. But if you have the ability to visit a residence hall, please do so and ask those questions. Ask what comes with that room. If you have certain amenities, are they available to everyone in the residence hall, or how is it set up? So definitely ask those questions. So again, please join in, ask your question. So another question, I'm looking at my little list over here. So another question you might want to ask. So if you don't want to live on campus, and if first year students are allowed to live off campus, what are the options for living off campus? Is it off campus housing that is owned by the college, or is it a apartment complex that's run by a private company? Is it safe? What is it like? What are all the parameters for moving off campus? Many colleges will have an office as part of student life that will help students find off campus housing. So I know At Providence College in Rhode Island, if you're going up Huxley Avenue or up one of the main streets on the campus, you see all these triple decker houses. For those of you that aren't from New England, a triple decker is a house that has three separate apartments, one on top of another, first floor, second floor, third floor. And many of those triple deckers in the Providence College area are now used as off-campus housing for Providence College students, and they're privately owned. They're not owned by Providence College. They're privately owned by families or sometimes corporations. So again, find out what it is that you can do as far as housing is concerned. So here's one of my favorite areas to talk about, the library. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, once you've been to a library, a library is a library is a library. I don't believe that. Libraries are really special places. And for people who know me, you know that I consider libraries my happy place. To go in there and you can, just look at all the different books and read what you want. That's the other thing. Some libraries may not have books available because they have a different system set up. So again, ask about the library. How long is it open? So if you wanted to study late, if you're one of those people who you're studying better late in the evening, what are the hours for the library? Where are the quiet spaces in the library? One of the things that you're going to find out when you do go visit colleges, and if they happen to take you into the library, they will explain to you that there is a protocol as far as how quiet each floor is. So the main floor that you go into is usually the noisiest floor. And the higher you go, the more restrictions there are on how quiet that floor needs to be. So again, think about that. Earlier today, I had the pleasure of talking to this wonderful young lady who had the opportunity to be doing some work at North Carolina State University's Hunt Library. That library is fantastic. It's one of those libraries that has the robotic arm that when you put in the kiosk what book you want, the robotic arm, you can see it, the shelves moving and what have you as it retrieves the book for you. Absolutely fascinating, but it's also beautifully designed with these wonderful seating areas. So again, think about what it is that you're looking for in a library and ask those questions. Another question, many colleges belong to a consortium, which means they belong to a group of other colleges in the nearby area. So usually in a consortium, if the library of the school that you attend does not have the material you want, you can borrow it through the consortium. So ask about that. What are the privileges that are given to you at a college that belongs to a consortium? Does the college belong to a consortium? Not all colleges do. So you want to find out those kind of questions. So let's see, what else? Okay. So another thing, what's the social vibe like on campus? Are you a person who loves the fact that a college may have, all kinds of activities going on and it's really lively on the weekends? Or are you looking for a place that's maybe a little more quieter? So ask that question. So not only what the social vibe is like, but what happens on the weekends as far as who remains on campus? There are some colleges that are known as commuter schools or what we call suitcase campuses. What that means is they have a large number of people who attend that college that live locally. And rather than spending their weekends on campus, they may go home so that they can still hang out with their friends, their families. Maybe they have a job that they're going to, or what have you. So that's a question that you also want to ask. Is this a commuter campus? Because if you're someone going from out of town, or if you're someone who expects to stay on campus on the weekends, you want to know that, there are people around that you can do things with, that you can hang out with, especially while you're in your first year and you're just trying to learn who your people are, trying to just find your niche in that on that campus and just find out where you belong. So it's always nicer when there are more people around for you to get to know, for you to hang out with, for you to have meals with, for you to go to sporting events with. So that's another question. What are the sporting events like? Is there a particular sport that is more popular on campus and students go to and support? I know one of the colleges that I visited last year actually talked about how their campus is so collaborative that sports teams go to other sports teams' events to support them and vice versa, and that students typically go out and support every sports team. So even though they have some sports teams that have better um, winning records than others, they have full support of the student body when it comes to their home games. So ask that, because if you're someone that enjoys going to games, um, sometimes you want to know what's available to you, because again, that's part of living on campus. Yes, you're going to college to go to your classes, to learn, to expand your horizons, to meet new people, but you're not just going to be in a classroom. So what else are you going to be doing? So find that out, ask those questions. Now, a lot of that information will come out in the admission session or on the tour, but just in case that the tour guide or the admissions person giving the presentation does not give you that information, then you can go ahead and ask. You have a question to ask. So something else, let's see. So say that you want to use art spaces or music spaces. You play an instrument, but you're not a music major. Are those practice spaces or art spaces, and you're not an art major, are they available to you as someone who's not majoring in that particular area? Um, so ask that question, because you always, you'll be pleasantly surprised most of the time it is available to you. So again, definitely make sure that you ask the questions. So let's see. Let's talk about physical fitness and staying active while you're on campus. So you're going to the recreation center. Is that recreation center for every student that's on campus? Or is there a separate one for varsity athletes and another one for non-athletes? What are the hours of the recreation center or the gym? Um, can you access it at early in the morning? I'm one of those people. I love to exercise early in the morning. So if I'm going to work out, I need to be working out by 6 o'clock. That's what works for me. So are you able to work out that early? Find out what else is available. What kind of classes are there? Aerobics classes? Are there yoga classes? Does the school have a pool so that you can swim if that's something that you want to do? So find out what's available to you. Are there any extra costs to anything in the recreation center that is not covered already by your tuition and student fees? So definitely ask that question. So we're rounding up here almost to 30 minutes, and I'm trying to keep this one. This is one of the small steps. This is going to go on the small steps playlist, where I'm just trying to keep them to around 30 minutes. So a couple more questions here that you can ask when you're on your college visit. So we've got to eat. If you're like me, I love to eat. When I was in Chicago, one of the things that I went to do and didn't get a chance to do is go and get some deep dish pizza. So guess what? I got to go back to Chicago because I want to get some deep dish pizza from Chicago. But again, think about, ask those questions. What kind of food is available? What are the hours of the center? I can remember at one school that will remain nameless, I had a relative who was a member of a sports team. By the time they got through practicing, and of course they were hungry, they would walk over to the dining center and the dining center would be closed. So that didn't make sense. You're here playing on a sports team for a school. Your practice is at a certain time, and that's when you have to be there. So then you go to eat afterwards, and the dining center's closed. And there really wasn't another place to get stuff. That is not the case on the majority of campuses, but that was the case on this particular campus. If you go to visit, eat in the campus dining center. And if they have multiple dining halls, choose one and eat the food. See what's available, see how it's laid out, see what the sanitary conditions are. How are people interacting with each other in the dining center? One of the things I remember at once college is they had student bands playing during the height of the mealtime in the afternoon to entertain other students. So here was a chance for students to practice their craft, and but students who were eating were also being entertained if they chose to be so. So again, ask those type of questions. Ask about the dining plans. Every college will have a dining plan. Do you have to take a full dining plan? Do you have to do that your first year and second year? What is it that you can do as far as eating on campus? Many colleges, your campus ID also serves as a holder of points or dollars, college dollars or whatever they call them. They all have their own name, bonus bucks, where you can use your ID at a neighboring restaurant or what have you. So it might be like a Subway shop or a pizza shop or a local coffee shop. So find that out. Find out, um, are there multiple places that you can do that? And how long do they stay open? And is it, something that you can do regularly, or just is there an abbreviated schedule? All kinds of questions to think about. If you have food allergies, how do how does listen to my English, how does the college handle food allergies? Will they is Are there separate preparation stations for foods? You'll find that's the case in many colleges, but you definitely need to ask. It is up to you to make sure that you know how your allergies affect you, and you need to know how the colleges in the dining center handle certain foods. So, again, ask those questions. So, for right now, we are at just about 30 minutes. And one of the things I always want to do is talk about a book. Now, next week, I'll come back with part two with some more questions that you can ask on a college visit, because many students are out of school now. Some students are out visiting colleges. So I definitely want to make sure that you know what questions to ask. But even before I go to the book, let me just share a couple of places with you for people who can't visit, because not everybody can visit. We don't all have that privilege. I know when I was a high school student, there was no way we were going to be able to go visit colleges. It just wasn't in our family's budget for us to be able to do that. So where can you go online to find out information? So I'm going to go over the 30 minutes a little bit. So here's one place that you can go to. So this website is called Campus Real, and you can create an account on Campus Real. What Campus Real has done is they have hired students on certain campuses to create their own videos talking about their college. So this young man, Ben, he is talking about Emerson College in Boston. So if that's a college you're interested in, you could see what Ben has to say. Not every college is represented on here, so remember that. But when you create a free account and then you go into the search bar, you can search for colleges and you can see what students have to say about the college that they attend. Another place that is really good. When I first started using this site, I was like, "Ooh, this guy is a little too perky for me," but I love it now. So this is the College Tour. Let me get it up to the top. So it's called the College Tour. They're on Amazon Prime, but they also have their own website. So I just go to the website to see what's updated on there. So they're into season 9. So what they do, again, colleges collaborate with Alex Boylan, who is the host and who was a former winner of The Amazing Race. So that's a little piece of trivia for you. You can go on here and you can see what colleges are available in order to see the videos. The videos are really well done. I do like them when it's a college I'm unfamiliar with and I want to get some information about it. They do a really nice job of doing it, and they present an array of students. So again, you can see the colleges that are available where it says watch now. Like for example, then you see some that are coming soon. So that means they're working with that college, but the videos aren't up yet. Again, that's at no cost to you. So definitely, even if you're going to visit, if a college that you're going to visit is on here, find out a little bit about it beforehand. Another resource, College Scoops. So College Scoop was designed to help people learn a little bit more about the college and university as far as what's around it. What are the good restaurants to go to? What activities are around the campus? And it's all sourced from actual students at the campus, as it tells you. So it has, best places to eat, best places to study, best places to live, where to see, where to go. It's something, as you can see on here, that you can also use with your smartphone, and they have guides. So you can buy guides from let's see if I can, it's taken a long time to change. So you can actually get guides from different colleges, I mean, at a cost, that will give you information about that college. So you can search by name. So here are the college guides, and you can go through it and you can get information. And the college guides are a booklet that will give you information about that particular school. So again, if that's, and that again, that's something you have to pay for. But if it's worth it to you, go ahead. Just wanted you to know that that's a resource that is available to you. And the last resource, college fairs. This is a great way to find out about a college, to talk to admission reps. So NACAC, which is the National Association for College Admission Counseling, will be starting up their college fairs for the fall. So under this tab, you can see which ones are in person. So you want to go and see, is NACAT coming to your area during the fall? So you have to check. They do fall and spring. So if you don't see your area on here, that means they may be coming in the spring, but we're not always sure. And then for the other tab, let me see if I can move this up here a little bit. You know how sometimes it's just crazy moving things. Also, you can click on virtual. So we know that these are the 3 virtual fairs coming up for the fall. First one is Sunday, September 10th from 1 to 6, October 15th, and then November 12th. It's very easy to sign up for a virtual college fair. You just go on, you register, then you can go in and you can search to see what colleges are going to be there. And you can actually create your own schedule and get a reminder that this college is now live on the session. They're typically from 1 to 6. You do not have to be there the whole 5 hours, but it's definitely something you want to take advantage of, whether it's in the virtual format or in the in-person format. So again, those are ways that you can learn about a college without having to visit the college, or in addition to visiting a college. So let me get on to one of my favorite things. It's a book. So for people who live in the Cumberland County area here in North Carolina, there is an author's talk being sponsored by the Cumberland County Friends of the Library. And it's the book that is being highlighted is called Trinity. Let me do it like this, Trinity. And the author is Zelda Lockhart. The great thing about this book is it takes place, the setting is Fayetteville, North Carolina. So this is going to be, the author talk is going to be, for anybody that's in the area, July 23rd, which is next Sunday, 3 p.m. at Headquarters Library in downtown Fayetteville. It's free. There will be books for sale there. But if you're like me, get a copy ahead of time so you can read the book. So wherever you are, so for those of you that are in Cumberland County, North Carolina, and can't make it to the book talk, check out your local library. Are they having book talks? Support your local library by going to the events that they hold. So I really think it's important that communities support their local libraries. For me, a library, again, It's my happy place. So I love libraries, 100%, 1,000%. So again, if you're in the area, so I expect to see people that I know here at this talk. I have the honor of introducing the author, so I'm a little excited about this. So again, the book's name is Trinity, and the author is Zelda Lockhart, who does live here in she lives in North Carolina. The setting for the book, part of it, the majority of the book takes place in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So again, make sure you think about what you're going to do as you go to visit these colleges. Take some time to do some preparation ahead of time and enjoy. I want you to be able to research colleges, to enjoy your visits, to learn what you like and what you don't like. That's one of the nice things about being able to visit. You can get on a campus, visit, see several things and say, yeah, I just don't think this is the place for me. And that's important because it's important to know what you want and what you don't want on a college campus. Okay, so this is Dr. B from Steps to the Future. Again, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can subscribe right here, bit.ly/stepscc, so that you can watch these videos at your leisure, and another time you can share them with other people. So definitely do that. If you have a question or if you're interested in a consult for a student who is interested in college counseling advice or guidance, you can go to my website, Steps to the Future /appointment. And if you're signing up for initial consultation, you'll see the link there for you. Again, this is Dr. B from Steps to the Future. I will see you next Monday at 7 p.m. with part 2, other questions that you can ask. And if you have some questions in the meantime, send them to me and maybe we'll put them on the air. Or better yet, join the conversation and we can talk about what it is that you're interested in. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. See you next Monday, 7 p.m. Dr. B on the road, college visits, part 2. Take care, everyone.